My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of scary stories to tell in the dark. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But this movie is based on a book, and unfortunately, I have never read the book. I do remember seeing pictures of it as a kid, and I still remember those pictures to this day. Like, they were really creepy and unnerving, and I found the artistry to be very impressive. And you know what? Maybe I should read this book. Maybe I should actually buy it. And I'm not really a book guy, but this one definitely appeals to me. Yeah. Anyways, I'm here to talk about the movie. So let's begin by talking about the cast. And Zoe Coletti does do a real good job here. She is convincing enough. She brought enough personality to this character, and she does bring emotional weight when needed. Not a great performance, but still pretty good. Then we've got Michael Garza, who I never really cared for. He's meant to be this cool, charismatic guy, but I just found him to be really bland. We then got Dean Norris, aka Hank from Breaking Bad, and I thought he did pretty good in his minimal screen time. We've got Austin Zadro, who I really didn't like. Like, he just had no real personality. I found him annoying more than anything else, and I do feel like he dragged this movie down. Gabriel Rush was a nothing performance. Nothing about this character stands out. Natalie Genzon, she's just playing the stereotypical pretty girl, and I don't even think she does that well. Just a really flat performance. And Austin Abrams, I guess, does a fine job with his minimal screen time. He is a character you love to hate. So I actually found the cast to be the biggest issue here. And look, when I say the names, Zoe Coletti, Michael Garza, Austin Zadro, Gabriel Rush, in the past 7 years, these actors really haven't gone on to do much else, and it's easy to see why. If they had more personality and more energy, and if I really bought their dynamic, I think this movie could have been amazing. But yeah, I do got a few other issues. Like, it's a coming of age movie. Well, it doesn't feel as coming of age as I would like. There's one scene where the characters are in school, two scenes. And I kind of wish we got a better sense of the school environment. There is a backstory here with the ghost. Oh, what's the ghost name? It's like Jennifer Sarah Bellows. That's it. The backstory can be a little generic. There's a whole drafting plot where it turns out one of the main characters is avoiding the draft, and there's lots of anti-Reagan imagery throughout this movie, and it doesn't really add much for me. And I was surprised to find out that the jingly man was practical and not CGI. But that said, I really didn't care for the jingly man. Nowhere near as scary as he should have been. So, this movie is still flawed. Like, it's definitely flawed. But I still kind of like it. Quite a bit, actually. When I first saw it in 2019, I remember I had the complaint that it should have been an anthology movie instead of a beginning to end narrative movie. Like, and I understand why I thought that, because this movie is very segmented, But now I kind of appreciate the story being told. You know, I thought it had real stakes, and whenever that book starts writing something, I was on edge. You're just thinking to yourself, what cruel fate awaits what character? And even though, like I said, the backstory could be a bit generic, I did kind of like how this movie approaches Sarah as a character, and even the note the movie ends on, there is plenty to like here. And the segments, I actually loved most of them. The first one, Harold, is really creepy. That scarecrow design is so off-putting, and then you just watch Tommy, turn into a scarecrow. Like, I thought that was some really effective body horror. And especially when the characters go to see him the next day. Like, it's actually really mean. And then you've got the section with the toe in the stew, which I just found to be so disgusting. Like, body parts in stew, people putting them in their mouth, just, it gets under my skin. And then you get the voice, where's my toe? And then the character hides under the bed and he's looking around. And you know there's going to be a jump scare, but it's still effective. And just watch him get dragged into this nothingness. I don't know. It gets under my skin. Then you've got the Spider Zit, which I'm pretty sure was CGI. I wish it looked a bit better, but it's still some really effective body horror. And then we got the Red Room next. Yeah, the Red Room. And I kind of like how you think, oh, the record room is going to be the Red Room. But then it's actually like Tommy's running away from everyone. So these red lights are shining. And I don't know the name of that creature. I think it's the Pale Lady. Utterly terrifying creature design. And I love how no matter what direction he goes in, she keeps getting closer and closer, and you just feel really helpless for him. I do kind of wish it ended a bit better where, like, the Mulge, that was kind of blah. But still, everything leading up into that point was a masterclass. And like I said, I didn't really care for the Jingly Man section. I did like the section where, man, what's her name? The main girl. Stella goes back to, like, in time, and she's Sarah. And this is where I felt like the backstory finally got a bit more dramatic weight, and it's actually really psychologically disturbing, and yeah, and I loved the production design in that moment. So, yeah, I kind of like how this movie has some creepy monsters, has some trippy imagery, has some body horror. It just feels like a lot of horror in the best way possible. Um, I thought the makeup and the costumes were top notch. The movie can be gross, it can be creepy, and it's still a really fun watch. And I kind of like how it has a goosebumpish feel. You know, like it kind of reminds me of the Goosebumps movies, but for a slightly older audience. And I kind of appreciate movies like this. Like, I really do hope I have kids one day and I can picture myself showing them Goosebumps at a younger age and then a few years later showing them this movie before showing them the real scary stuff. And I think it's good for gateway horror movies like this to exist, which are also just pure horror movies as well. And I also liked the production design of the mental hospital and of Sarah's house. Like, I like it whenever you see the shadows of Sarah. And yeah, it's a well-directed movie by Andre Overdor. So, while not perfect, the cast should have been better. Some moments and some plots are very unnecessary. I still love so much about this movie because you've got all these wildly different things happening, and it's fun and creepy and gross, and it's just a movie I could see myself rewatching all the time, especially in October. So I'm giving Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark a 7.5 out of 10. Kinda of an underrated movie, which I believe it was successful. Budget 25 million, made over 100 million. That budget is actually quite impressive, if you ask me. I kind of wish we got the sequel that was in the works, but oh well, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.